you want to do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you want to do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast.
Come? Alright, I'll do my own bits myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it. Get off the road.
Hey Dave.
Hey Boater.
Shakespeare walks into a bar. Exit pursued by a bear. I guess you're unfamiliar with the stage direction?
No, I
Or you just...
I don't get it.
Okay.
And I feel bad. But...
It's not my best work, but it's fine.
Welcome everyone to the Nerd Glasses Podcast.
I'm Boater.
And I'm Boater as well for the next 5 seconds till I'm... Oh, Dave Mann again.
That was a quick 5 seconds. How's everyone doing today? Welcome everybody in chat. Hope you're doing well. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Okay, sorry. How's your brain doing, Dave? Because that's where mine is. How you been? How's the past week been for you?
It's been good. Mark in chat, of course, Duder. I will definitely check out that link after the program because it would bring it down to a screeching halt. But folks
More than
out
we
there,
already do.
give him a help and a shout out for dreamchopper.com. Make sure to vote for Mark on there. It would be amazing to give him some assistance. And it's just clicking a link. So, I mean, do it.
Do it.
But it's been a really good week. Got back into some games I hadn't played in a while.
Nice.
Made sure that everybody in the gaming group. I know we're kind of doing these segments out of order, but
Yeah, it's fine.
Just every time we play Overwatch, there's always somebody that misses whatever the promotional skin is. And this past Friday, I made sure that we streamed from 5 p.m. until 1 o'clock in the morning to make sure that everybody in the group that came got the necessary amount of wins to get the skin, because we're not having another
Marvelous.
repeat of a Kai and the Lego skin. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Marvelous.
Again, unless the Lego skin comes back out, in which case Steve and I are just going to steal his account and make sure that he gets it.
Well, making that happen, whether you like it or not.
Faz had some updates, which broke the game.
Of course.
But then, of course, this morning they put patches out, which fixed the breaks that we were playing with last night. So, gaming.
Yeah, I haven't been playing anything new, just way too much BattleTech. I'm barely getting my editing done playing that. Watching, yeah, we are doing this out of order, but as long as we're here. Watching, I finally, way later than I should have, just started watching Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Nice.
Only took me 27 years. But yeah, I'm about 4 episodes into that. And yeah, enjoying it so far. So it's just one of those things that I think like a month ago came up, and I kind of looked at Steph and I'm like, we should really watch that. Cue 3 weeks later when we actually finally get around to it, Thank you so much, Auntie, for the resub. First update in Faz to break something ever.
Oh, yeah, and certainly not just destroy VR, which felt really bad for everyone who has a VR.
That's
Yeah.
right. Oh boy. Yeah, so I guess what I've got ahead of me is it's just like I think a 12-episode series of Evangelion and then the movie. And then there were more recent movies, but they kind of like retell it, whatever, so we might do that. We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling. So that's what I've been watching the last 7 days. Here's someone who hasn't necessarily been playing the last 7 days. That's a clumsy segue to a Twitch ban. A couple days ago, Maddie the Lesbian was banned on April 10th for using a word that rhymes, that is a homophone for a word for an embankment that prevents flooding. For those of you that don't know, by the side of a river or by a seawall, there are things called dikes that help prevent flooding from happening. And if you change the spelling a bit, apparently it counts in Twitch as a slur. Even though they have carved out an exception for reclaiming slurs for someone using it as like own voice kind of thing.
Okay.
So she used it in that context and was immediately hit with a ban. And it's like, just saying this word is banned is not enough, because as we know, people will try to work around that and still be shitheels while using the word. But then on the flip side is people who try to reclaim the word and to use it in a previous light. Like, even like the word queer was mostly negative for a while, and was reclaimed to a certain extent. So, same thing is perhaps happening with this word, but they were still immediately banned, and they're not handling it well. They're saying, oh, well, this might put my partnership that I have with this Epic Games supporter creator thing in jeopardy, because how can they count followers if the thing doesn't exist for 7 days?
Yeah.
It is just a 7-day ban. They will be back next week, if not earlier. But that is who was banned the last 7 days. Like, sometimes when I do a Twitch ban, it's, oh, someone fucked around and found out. And sometimes it's Twitch rules being very draconianly enforced.
But in the same case, that's the whole idea of, like, if people who are using verbiage for certain ways are going to catch a ban for it, people that are, even though in attempt to reclaim or use in proper context of things like that,
it is something that you do risk. It's and like, yeah, the exception is there. It's carved out, and it's rotten that they haven't been able to successfully appeal it in the past 2 days. As of when I checked earlier today, they were still banned. So the Twitch appeals is its own thing. She's like, oh, meanwhile, I have like actual, people
is
that
a
on
Twitch thing trying to reclaim verbiage and terminology and things like that, or is that an independent initiative?
That's an independent initiative of
So that's a case of also not necessarily.
It's in the Twitch terms of service where there are exceptions. I didn't look up exactly I checked exactly their wording. I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
But it is saying that there are specific contexts where these are okay, particularly when it's an own voice kind of thing speaking.
Okay, because I was going to say, if this is one of those like self-initiated things, it's like, listen, you can't on a corporate machine like start your own initiative and not expect that there's going to be some backlash until they know what's going on. But if it's within the TOS and it's not,
and
like
there
the
is a movement to
profile-
reclaim the term,
Yeah.
then yeah. And yeah, they're saying that, they've had proof and made reports for, abuse and such like that, and nothing was done. So, of course, big ol' sarcasm tag appended to Auntie's Twitch's rules consistency incarnate. Of course they are. Anyway, that is Maddie the Lesbian, who, again, in the past 7 days was banned. We hope that is... I personally hope that is quickly turned around, and with some sort of clarification from Twitch over, like, maybe we need to work on our enforcement of this, or just get rid of the exception because it causes too much trouble. I don't know. Something. Clarity and rules would be great. Yeah. Clarity from Twitch. Twitch is very opaque when it comes to things. There could have been something entirely different in the stream that she was banned for. We have no idea. As always, when we're talking about reasons for a Twitch ban here on Nerdglass's podcast, it is based on speculation and such, because Twitch never announces the reasons. So,
which is kind of funny considering it's a business, but at the same point,
Yeah, gee, if only they had like competitors who could actually do what they were doing and focusing on it and doing well, while not also trying to be the predominant video upload platform in the world.
I
or
miss Mixer.
I was getting there. Or however you describe Facebook, the biggest social media platform and also source of all evil online. JK, 4chan's a thing. Anyway, yeah, I miss Mixer. Well, I miss I've used Mixer very little, but I miss the idea of Mixer. As much as we joked about it, I was excited when Mixer dropped big bucks to get people to migrate to it because it had a chance. And then it just didn't really follow
Mixer,
through.
you could have had nerd glasses. You could have had programs. You
Coulda.
had us for a little while,
Mhm.
and then you sold to Facebook.
And also we got like affiliate or whatever on Twitch, and they were like, "I'm sorry, exclusive broadcast only." And okay,
Mixer could have had us at the ground floor.
they could have.
Just send us a check.
But instead, we're happy to get your subs and bits and cheers and all that, and being able to unlock the Mike Lips emote. So,
And the exclamation point bald command.
oh yeah, can't forget
Strike the fear in chat
that.
as to who you're accusing.
Dave, what's coming out in the next 7 days?
So, this is a segment that I'm gonna have to like do more work on and things, but it's especially
feel
with all the
trepidatious.
exclusives and things like that coming out in the near future.
Okay.
It's have we talked about this coming out before?
Okay.
I'll streamline it, but this is one of the first examples of a game that I'm really hyped about that we already talked about in January when it came out for exclusively PC and the Xbox Series
Okay.
X.
Oh, so what you're saying is that we need a way to like clip that out of the old broadcast and then just say, and now, beep, and then it plays, and 2 minutes later we come back, and now it's coming out on Switch. Next! You get a chance to take a break, get some water, hydrate up.
I did make sure to do a little bit of extra, but this trailer brought to you by Nerdvision, trademark. But this game, Nobody Saves the World. No, it's not a commentary on current day life. It's a very
Dave.
fun.
Dave. Streamlining. Streamlining.
Auntie, you just had to speak Borders language, didn't you? It's an RPG coming out for the Switch, the PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 5 here on the 14th. It, having already been out on the PC and the Xbox Series X, received a Metacritic score of 79 out of 100, which is not bad for an indie dev game.
Yep.
Not, of course, not spectacular.
It's fine.
But for an RPG, especially the way RPGs are cranking out these days, it's pretty good on
It's
the
fine, yeah.
spectrum of this year, where the average is much lower. This, of course, being a wizard under the name of Nobody, you have 18 different forms you can take, as you can see on the trailer. And the get of this game is that you can play with other folks, this and that and the other, and the abilities that are created by the different forms do form power-ups together and different moves and things of that nature.
Okay.
The get of the game is procedurally generated dungeons, so no playthrough will be the same. And it's well-liked, it's well-loved, but it is not $59.99, so it is not a real game to Dan.
Again, I contend that Dan's only objection was to the $39.99 price point. Anything above that, real game. Anything below that, real bargain game. $39.99, not a real game. So what is the price on this? Do you know?
This one was going for around $39.99.
Okay, well, there we go. Not a real game, according to Dan. I'm so glad that lined up. I was just putting that on the tee, and I'm like, please.
The other game, this one I know you're going to have more of the experience in, and things like that.
Okay.
But just picture it, everybody. It's September 2008. You're kicking on your current generation PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, shitty by today's standards PC, and you're thinking to yourself, I want to have some Star Wars, and exploding onto your consoles and systems and PCs was Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, a game that did not disappoint and will be hitting on the 20th, joining us on the Nintendo Switch, which the trailer kind of advertises.
Oh, they do the motion controls for
Yes.
on the Switch. I was wondering, a friend of mine really enjoyed the game. He was like, "Oh, but I didn't play it on the Wii," and I'm like, "I don't know if the Switch is going to use the motion controls." It looks like at least as an option, it looks like it will.
Yes, that's one of the big features that they're advertising, and the other big feature that the trailer is hitting on
Oh, okay.
is the local multiplayer duel mode that will have
Interesting.
many heroes of the eras and of the games. Dude, Icarus, the Wii version is very okay.
Oh, I played that on the DS. Yeah, like Force Unleashed was one of those things that was released on everything, and you said, "Oh, it was so well liked." I was, on it. Like I enjoyed it. Okay, so my best memory of the Force Unleashed was before the game came out, and this was in the early days of PS3 and Xbox 360.
Okay.
The early days of digital distribution on console. So almost every game that came out had a demo to play, and so there were 6 of us, 8 of us sitting in a dorm common room playing just the demo for Force Unleashed. Someone would play it through, and then pass the controller and someone else would play it through, and pass the controller someone else would play it through. And that was a lot of fun, right up to the point of like destroying an ATST. And like I really enjoyed that. It gave you a sense of like the power that you would get in the game. I have my problems with the game. However, I will go more in depth into them because next month I am going to start playing the Force Unleashed on Xbox Series S. And you said, so this is coming out on, what's this coming out on? This is coming out on Switch.
Just the Switch.
Just Switch. Okay, cool. So I'm going to be playing the Xbox 360 version, playing that on the Citadel.
Just to sidetrack for a moment there, Huncho. Where were you playing the demo of this game?
In college, in the common room of, not my dorm, but someone else's dorm.
I played the demo of this game at my mom's house because I was a graduating senior of high school. That was the year I graduated high school.
Yep.
Steve, our producer, when the demo of this came out in 2008, what were you doing?
Playing it on my dad's PS3 because I was 10. For those of you that couldn't hear, we need to get a microphone over there.
I love that we come from so many Area of Dragon's Bane. I was a sophomore in high school. I love that Nerd Glasses, because of Boater, me, and Steve, the addition of our producer, we have such a diverse experience in gaming. And so many different perspectives and things like that, and we love that you guys in chat add into it and make it.
I want to say that demo was out in like April or May, so we were playing that while I was still in college, but I graduated that spring. So like there's also a chance that I was just like hanging out because I lived near the school at the time and I was still friends with a lot of them and in like social groups. I may have graduated already. We might have been playing it a week before the game came out. I don't remember. So yeah, so that is coming out, what, next Tuesday? This Thursday, pre-orders start through...
Limited Run Games.
Yep, through Limited Run Games for a physical edition, one of which is just the game itself for $34.99, one of which is the Premium Edition that adds a bunch of stuff for $89.99, and one is the Master Edition for $175.99 that adds a lightsaber model, a holocron, commemorative coin, art book, pin, art, more art. That's probably digital soundtrack. Just
a steelbook.
Yeah, a ton of stuff for the Unleashed Master Edition.
A question for you on that lightsaber, which is why I had this pulled up. Do you think that's like
full size?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You think it's this sized? Like if we were to cry to Dan to get us a copy, like, or do you think it's? I
think it's maybe like a half scale, just like desk display thing. I don't see any blade with it, so I don't think there's any expectation it's going to be a full size thing. I think we're looking at like. So I don't know. I'm thinking a half scale, just like desk display for the saber.
Boo. Well, they won't be getting my ducats.
I could never get past the ATST as a kid. Well, I guess you'll have to watch when I start playing the game in May and see how far we can get.
Sounds like procrastination.
Okay. So that is games coming out in the next 7 days. Let's go to NFT Roundup and then start covering a bit more news that's also happened. Sega. There was an... Go for it. Go for it. There was an interview last month on their recruitment and careers website that just in this past week was translated into English by VGC, where they were talking about their Super Game initiative. This was announced last year, but nobody really knew what Super Game was going to be. It's probably just going to be like one massive game that Sega's producing, and it's going to be like a big return to the market, whatever. No, so they said that Super Game is an initiative to utilize, quote, Sega's comprehensive range of technologies and would, quote, go beyond the traditional framework of games. I really need to have like a little red flag that I start waving when I start saying corporate BS like that. Fortunately, I don't need to. Producer Masayoshi Kikuchi said the quiet part out loud. It is a natural extension for the future of gaming that it will expand to involve new areas such as cloud gaming and NFTs. Thanks. Now, so far they haven't. So far, Sega hasn't said we are doing NFTs. They are going to look like this in this game. Here is exactly what we are doing. So this is probably some sort of variation on the same. We're exploring the option, while leaving themselves an out to actually not do anything with it. Because by now, public perception is kind of going against it, and it's ironic that Sega is slow to realize that.
So, could this though be like a masterstroke on their part of like Sega doesn't want to get involved with making non-fungible tokens, but if they tell people we're interested in it and they get a whole bunch of attention and then they go, no guys, you're right, we're not gonna do it. Like,
if even EA knows to backpedal. Yeah, Andy being just the king of sarcasm in our chat today, saying Sega is always the best company out there, being able to read the room so well. Sega's the Internet Explorer of video game companies. Sega is on its way to Area 51 right now to raid it. Right now.
Well, they do got to go fast. Actually, that's not real. Probably not even their thing anymore. Oh, it is. That's right. Sega still appears on the movies and the things and the Nintendo games.
The Sonic the Hedgehog movie did come out this past Friday, I think. I haven't seen it yet. I will probably be seeing it with Steph. I don't know. We're busy this weekend because Easter, but we are going to try to catch it before it leaves theaters. Then again, I'm also nervous because the first movie was the last one that I saw in theaters before lockdown hit. And then in November, having my mind blown of Sonic the Hedgehog came out this year, and I'm like, what?
That was a really, really good episode when both of us were talking about, oh yeah, that old Sonic the Hedgehog movie, we saw it so long ago, and oh my god, it was this year.
Isn't there actual good movies out there to watch? I mean, I enjoyed the first one.
Morbius?
Fine.
Isn't that a good movie to watch? Shouldn't we jump on that train and say nice things about Morbius? Isn't that what everyone's doing? While we talk about the crypto car being on fire. You know what's good, Boater, though? You know what's really good?
What's good, Dave?
By God, ladies and gentlemen, I opened my Steam yesterday to go play Phasmophobia with Love Alec, and Steam told me some of the best news I'd been told in a while. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is grab your fucking wallets. Days Gone is 50% off till the 17th, so go now! Go get it, and then come back! Go buy Days Gone, go get it.
Or set an alarm on your phone so that you don't miss the show, but after the show's done, go get it. Preferably in that break between Nerd Glasses and Citadel.
Go buy Days Gone. Seriously, play it, then talk to me about it, and then we can talk about how cool that game was. The more copies people buy, the more likely I'll get Days Gone too, because I want it, and I've been a good boy this year, and I deserve it.
So in addition to the announcement that Force Unleashed was going to be coming out, there was another announcement. Dave, I'm going to need you to get something for me.
Okay.
Give me the tinfoil.
Oh my God! Welcome to the side of righteousness. Conspiracy baseball has been initiated. The tinfoil hats of approximate truth are coming out. You know what? I'm going to crush mine under this too.
So there were 2 new games announced. And I'm going to say the titles. And I'm going to tell you why I don't buy it. Kingdom Hearts 4 and Kingdom Hearts Missing Link.
Ah, Kingdom Hearts 4! It's coming out, but it's not going to be out for another 25 years!
Here's the thing. Okay, so I do not at all, but the wait between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 was like 50 years or something like that. I don't buy Kingdom Hearts 3 feeling... Hold on, when did it come out? I feel like it just came out, but it was probably a couple years ago because time is a fucking illusion. It feels like it just came out. There's no way that 4 is already getting it, like, already in a state where they're able to announce it and say that it's coming soon. I don't buy it. It's just someone that, like, hacked into Square Enix's servers and they're like, we're doing this, or else probably blackmail, just announce it and see what happens and see how many people fall for it. Or something's going wrong and Square Enix is like doing the equivalent of blinking Morse code into the camera by saying Kingdom Hearts is out, and we go, oh no, something's wrong, but nobody's catching on. And you know why I know? That thing about like the gaps between 3 and 4 is kind of a thing. But the other game title, super suspicious. Missing Link. Dave, that is a normal ass name for a Kingdom Hearts game. Kingdom Hearts games have names like Dream Drop Distance, Regarding Chain of Memories. That Ari, would that be like regarding in an email chain? That's regarding, return,
I believe
regarding, so. Regarding chain of whatever. Fucking 358 over 2 squared days cosine bullshit. And Kingdom Hearts, I'm not even gonna exaggerate this one. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue sounds like fucking Project Final.psd.final v2 v3 final.psd.txt bullshit. You can't tell me Missing Link is an actual legitimate Kingdom Hearts title. Square Enix needs help, and this is how they're sending out the call. They're saying there is no way anyone will actually believe that these are upcoming Kingdom Hearts games. Send help.
Did you by any chance know why they released that trailer this past week?
Why?
Anti-Clutch Prime, first of all, that's how we will all name temporary files from now on. Kingdom Hearts exe dot. On April 10th, in Tokyo, Square Enix did an event for the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary. First of all, let's keep these tinfoil hats on, because there's no fucking way that game's 20 years old at this point, okay? I refuse to admit.
I realize.
The thing that kind of made me sad about this was Square Enix missed out on some big opportunities because they did not stream any of the event itself.
Okay.
It was, and not even record, like, they obviously people recorded it, but they didn't record, like, they did a Q&A with the Japanese voice cast of Sora and Riku and everybody there, and they let the audience ask questions. Didn't record that, didn't post it anywhere. And that is where they announced and did the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. And also, in an interesting way that you should mention during your truth-filled discussion there, they announced new merch that's going to be coming out. So is there a small nugget of truth to come from the fact that Kingdom Hearts, the IP, needs to be wrung out a little bit to maybe get the last drop out of it? I mean, if you're announcing handbags at the 20th anniversary event, selling to the people that were there, but then announcing that they'd be available on the Square Enix website sooner rather than later, sounds like it.
Those 20 years was the waiting time between 2 and 3.
I'll back you up on there's no way that they have Kingdom Hearts 4 ready and in the tubes, because we didn't get Kingdom Hearts 3.27 alpha beta. You have the shot, take the shot, rookie. God damn it, rookie. Gunshot in background. You did good, kid. 0.7.
Like crying.
Trying. Like, we didn't get any of those, and I'm a little sad. Kingdom Hearts come out.
And it was a totally fake trailer, too. Sora wasn't even wearing his right shoes. was wearing normal fucking shoes. I don't buy it, Square Enix.
The trailer itself, I watched, and I will fully admit that my Kingdom Hearts expertise stops at exactly the first 15 minutes of Kingdom Hearts 2 when suddenly they introduced a new character and you were doing pittance work, and I literally went, nope! Not this time! Like,
My Kingdom Hearts knowledge begins and ends with Brian David Gilbert's Unraveled on Polygon, where he tried to sum up the Kingdom Hearts franchise by using the hero's story, the hero's journey.
I will say, though, on the Nerd Glasses here, we do have a Disney expert, someone that does have a lot of knowledge of Disney IP, and a lot of experience with it, visits the park a lot, and things like that. So, Boater, as a Disney IP expert, how do you feel about Kingdom Hearts coming as a thing? Star Wars is a Disney IP.
Yeah, and the second fucking 3PO shows up in Kingdom Hearts, you let me know.
So, there is, by the way, some eagle-eyed fans did find a moment.
Oh my god,
An item.
people have doxed Sora?
So,
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'm going to read up on chat really quick. Dudick is saying, apparently people found the exact apartment that Sora lives in. And he's saying, the apartment they've shown is in such an expensive area in Shibuya. How can they afford that? Yeah, apparently they just doxed Sora and they know exactly where he, like, wakes up in his apartment. So, okay. Again, no way he could afford it. That's how you know it's fake.
You
Anyway,
know
you
what's
found
even
anything?
more frustrating, Demon Dragon, was the fact that, like, Roxas, you were playing as him, you did all this crap, and then just gone. And I literally, like, I watched Joe from Geek for All play it, and I literally was like, and I am now incredibly double done with this game. Like, you're telling me had I have actually completed this stuff, I would have been all for peh, like, screw that at.
Disney
But
fourth wall paying the
The
rent.
trailer getting broken down did have an interesting thing on Game Rant where they talked about the trailer is taken up by 4 nature shots. They seem like graphical showcases at first, but fans noticed that the waterfall looked similar to a particular area in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 Endor map. Something in the background of the 3rd shot also looks like a round metal foot, akin to the back of an AT-ST from Star Wars. Though the scale may be a little bit off, this could be a sly confirmation of a Star Wars world. An Endor world opens the door to a Death Star segment, the battle against Darth Vader. Plus, if Star Wars made it to Kingdom Hearts, there's no reason Marvel wouldn't appear there either. This from the Game Rant article by Liam Ferguson, published about 23 hours ago. So thank you, Liam, for the breakdown of the trailer.
Well, in that case, if there is a Star Wars segment in Kingdom Hearts 4, then I will play that segment and only that segment, having played absolutely 0 Kingdom Hearts beforehand, and make all Kingdom Hearts fans absolutely shit themselves. That's all I'll do!
We need Alien in there. Disney owns it. That would be the first game I would buy. Deep dive with Conspiracy Baseball tonight. Well, actually, last week we had a pretty deep Conspiracy Baseball
I thought it was the week
segment.
before, but yeah.
But-
He's been getting a workout recently.
Conspiracy Baseball really has, it's the return of the baseball season. Conspiracy Baseball
Dave had
really hopped
no
up.
idea, by the way, that I stashed Conspiracy Baseball within arm's reach.
I'm excited. I'm excited that we're using our tools and communicators, and also now we do because of tinfoil hats and Conspiracy Baseball. In 3 or 4 months, if this turns out to all be shams and crap, we can be like, well, Conspiracy Baseball's kind of a liar, and you get what you get with tinfoil hats.
Don't listen to him.
I'm really looking forward to Conspiracy Baseball needs an emote. I might have Falai like throw one up for DAM 314, and I'd give it to you to have on Voterbug as well.
That'd be great.
And obviously for Insane Games TV if they wanted it, but I also don't want to like here's one segment for one program. Like
They'd have to add in Starfighter segments, and maybe I'll just play Lego Star Wars instead. I should play Squadrons again. It's been a while.
we should play Squadrons.
Well, here's what
on
happened: is
May
that
the
like,
4th.
ooh, there we go. So I oh, that's gonna be a weekend Wednesday, isn't it?
It is both a weekend Wednesday, and we have you, me, Kai, and I'm willing to bet some of the other people in the team
Yep.
have a squad, or would be able to play.
I'm pretty sure Squadrons is cross-platform, crossplay. Wait,
Yes.
no. Yes.
So it is cross-platform PC to individual system, but I do not think it was console to console.
Yeah, I'd have to double check.
Cross-platform. However, they may have updated that in the long hiatus we took after Boder's
Yeah.
terrible injury, where his X-wing and his A-wing collided with my Y-wing, and then we both careened into the.
I
into
mean,
the
what
universe.
actually happened was that I opened a door wrong and my shoulder didn't heal correctly and I got frozen shoulder and I literally could not have my hand on the throttle for more than a couple minutes.
And Boder
And I just
refused
haven't
to
gotten
play-
back to it since then.
Refused to play in controller like a plebeian because he has the.
Oh,
setup,
hell no!
And why not?
I have a throttle and joystick for a flight sim. I'm gonna do that. All right, I think we're done with conspiracy baseball. Let's move on. You're serving us well. Put you back up here.
That's right, folks. If you spot Conspiracy Baseball on the set, absolutely Conspiracy Baseball interrupt the segments by mentioning that you see Conspiracy Baseball.
Yeah, it means that we have a topic that we plan to bring up. Doesn't necessarily mean that we'll get to it. Sometimes it'll be a tabled topic or we'll push it off or something like that. But if you see Conspiracy Baseball, we got to start talking that topic right then and there. So it looks like it completely is. Good to know, dude, Icarus. As far as
Excellent.
cross-platform. So, okay. Dave looking forward to slyly hiding it from now on.
I actually have been
Yeah,
the last
yeah.
couple of
Oh,
weeks,
yeah.
and people haven't mentioned it, and I was just like, we've rolled into other topics.
A week or two ago, it was sitting here right on the table in full view of the camera, and I kept trying to block it, and still nobody said anything. So that's if you see Conspiracy Baseball, you say something.
Really looking forward to seeing that Kingdom Hearts stuff, though, because I do really like the Square Enix X Disney. Wow! Very nice shot! All right, here. I'm gonna.
Okay. Nope.
Close enough. So, Boner, some big things going on. Some big stuff. Big news.
People don't want to make Boder mad by
for-
mentioning Conspiracy Baseball. Now that I've invoked Conspiracy Baseball, all bets are off.
So,
Big news. What do we got?
Well, our little brother here at Insane Games TV's little brother, Epic Games, you may have heard of them. Pretty popular. They've got some good IPs, things like going on. They've got a lot going for them, and we're really proud of them here. They recently got some big-time investments from some big names, Boder, and I know you're going to be really excited when I tell you that $1 billion was invested in the Epic Metaverse by Kirkby.
Sorry, I didn't know the word metaverse was involved in this story. I wasn't ready. I should have purged ahead of time.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. But aren't you excited that Kirkby is really getting into the video games and the metaverse and all these things with Epic Games?
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, you don't know Kirkby? Well, they're the parent company of Lego. So that's right, ladies and gentlemen. This past week, Kirkby, the parent company of Lego, invested $1 billion in Epic,
That's not
as
right.
well as
Didn't
my
know.
personal fandom, Ariel Dragon's Bane. Who? Yes!
It's not. That must-
BI.
BI. Founded to build a sustainable for the future family ownership of the Lego brand and. Continue. Continue.
So, both Sony, who had in the past year invested $200 million, have now updated to $1.2 billion on Sony's part. This metaverse that Epic is talking about doing and things like that.
See, I
is-
knew the $1 billion that they got from Sony. I didn't realize they also got $1 billion from Kirkby.
Yes. Which, ironically enough, is a Sony fanboy and somebody that does get like Sony news on the regular and like investor news and stuff like that. The Kotaku's article hit me before Sony acknowledging that they invested $1 billion in something hit, which was funny.
mean, it's interesting because like right now the big thing has been buying stuff outright. I give you money, I own you now, rather than investing. I give you money, you make a thing for me later. That's almost like they're embarrassed to only be investing. Ugh. If Sony's not buying Epic, then what's the point?
I just definitely think that Epic doesn't want to sell with the projects they have in mind and things like that.
They shouldn't. I still think that Activision Blizzard, if not for the legal battles that they're in, shouldn't sell. Although, again, I read something that was literally 3 days after the Business Insider, Wall Street Journal, whoever, had been like, Bobby knew exactly what was going on in his company. 3 days after that is when Phil Spencer called and was like, "Hey, it seems like you guys are in trouble, huh?" So, that's how fast that happened.
Let's not mince words. Phil Spencer's a very smart man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, like so in general, I don't think that Activision Blizzard should have, but they were also not in much of a position to do anything else while Bobby's still at the helm. So, again, getting back on topic, I don't think Epic should sell either. But I think smartly getting investment from other sources, how like Microsoft invested into Square Enix and they got their timed exclusivity for Tomb Raider games,
Yes.
Stuff like that. That I think is more the normal type of stuff that we usually see. That said, the whole metaverse concept can go fuck itself.
I'm interested to see.
I kind of hope that Epic was like, hey, that's an easy mark with some money. Buzzword, buzzword, buzzword. Thank you for the money. I hope they're smarter than that.
Aurelia Dragonsbane conflicted on the idea of, so it's not the Lego brand, it's the Lego brand
The ownership, the holding company.
So
it's Heroes Company. Its main thing is owning Lego, but it's also like it's generally like the family doesn't own Lego. The family owns the holding company, which owns Lego. So the family also, through their holding company, did this investment into Epic.
And that whole idea of Kirkby is to take wealth and make more wealth with the wealth that they currently have for future generations under the
and
Kirkby
there is
banner.
no better way to fleece money out of venture funds like that than to be like NFTs, metaverse, blah 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 blah. You don't understand, but I sound like I know what I'm talking about. So good on you, Epic, getting that easy money from idiots.
I'm
That's a little overly harsh, and I don't entirely mean it in that way, but you get the broad strokes.
I'm interested to see the battle that will be definitely the banana suit guy from Fortnite and Mark Zuckerberg. It's gonna happen. He has a digital avatar now. There's a metaverse the metaverse, which formerly known as Facebook, is gonna fight.
That's meta.
What?
That's just meta. Because I don't think that they can copyright the term metaverse.
That's even somehow worse because I use the word meta constantly.
Mm-hmm. It's so stupid. I hate everything about the rebrand.
I'm really excited to see the giant billion-dollar company pissing contests we're going to see in the future.
We're already seeing them.
I know, but it's going to lead to so many good stories down the line. Definitely tune in with us at Nerd Glasses 2 years from now today. We'll see you there. Because I guarantee by then...
Zuckerberg is a digital avatar. Changed my mind. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, so Tom Scott did a video yesterday where he met a robot replica of himself. And that's what fucking Mark Zuckerberg looks like. A slightly more advanced robot replica.
I like that. Sorry, more Zuck conspiracies, but I like the Zuckerberg conspiracy that he's an alien because he had barbecue sauce on the shelf behind him when he was doing the press thing, and I was like, you do realize how rich people eat, right? Where it's like I have 47 meetings. Someone bring me chicky nuggies. Ate them, threw the dish over there, and realized the barbecue sauce was just behind him, and that just stayed there. Like, it was like crap. Like, I can't believe I left that.
If I remove it, it calls more attention to it. I need to make it look intentional.
We should put our favorite. You know what? For St. Jude's, I'm going to start putting my favorite hot sauces on the sets back here that people can donate for.
Nice.
So I'm interested to see where Sony's now over $1 billion invested in Metaverse leads to, and where Kirkby's investment leads to in regards to Lego and future IPs with Epic Games and things of that nature. Investments that didn't necessarily pan out, but did lead to some fruitful ventures were our friends at Remedy Games.
Yep.
They had a collaboration a long time ago with Rockstar Games, and the two of them worked very closely for many projects. But the one that I'm most interested in coming at that they announced in the last couple of weeks was that Remedy is going to be making a remaster of Max Payne 1 and 2. Remedy on their own in-house engine, and it is going to be published by Rockstar Games.
Yep.
And Rockstar Games is paying them as one of their AAA affiliates to make this game.
Yep, it's going to be using the engine that Control ran on, like the base of their modern engine. It is, so it's going to be more of a remake than a remaster, I think.
From the news of.
So I think it's a rebuild in a new engine, but I don't think they're going to be changing like level design too much.
No.
It's not a remaster in the sense of like the Mass Effect games where they just like put more processing power and polish and lighting effects and stuff. It is going to be rebuilding, but it's not going to be a remake in the sense of Final Fantasy VII remake where they strip it down to the bare bones scaffold and build a new thing onto it. So
Anti-Klaus right on the money, best of both worlds. Rockstar's money, Remedy's talent, and
definitely
giving the O face to Max Payne.
Yeah.
So excited for that bullet time.
I played Max Payne 2 once, back in 2007, 2008. A friend recommended it to me. About 5 years ago, I tried to play it a second time, and I just couldn't. Unfortunately, its controls were a little too behind the ball up to current standards. So here, while they're doing rebuilding, I think they will probably be making the controls and such a little snappier, especially if they're using the engine that Control was in, because that was really satisfying in doing combat in that.
Yes.
There was gunplay in that game, but that's obviously going to be more of it. I'm looking forward to see how that comes out. So
I'm super excited for this. There is no concrete release date for it, so
it was announced.
Buckle in and look at that. Speaking of announced release dates that
you do that, and then I'll lead you into
that shan't not have happened, but did. Advance Wars 1 and 2 on April 8th didn't come out. For the world, except for one person.
Okay.
One person who had pre-ordered it digitally on Switch woke up, looked on their Switch, and the game download had initiated. They have a full copy of Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
Okay.
And it is 100% because on the 8th, the Nintendo Network was doing some fixing and things like that to make sure that seemingly that exact thing didn't happen.
Good job.
But Killetheth on Reddit showed screenshots, showed things, and Nintendo officially acknowledged, hey, we did not want the game because of the current climate to come out, but this person has a copy, and we're not going to nuke their system. Which
nice!
Is
that
really
is a
good on
really
Nintendo.
Odd move for Nintendo. Wow. So I realized something. I said to these guys earlier, hey, do you want to try something? A bite to eat. Because sometimes we try odd things. Sometimes we try something that's normal, but it's branded a little different.
Specifically, while he's taking that out, I got him. Steve's having a nap in the back. I'm talking to a customer, and the message, "You up for a bite to eat on the show tonight?" ? And my response was, "Huh? I mean, I can always eat." Like,
you in too? Yes, no? Okay, so you will each need milk and a bowl and a spoon. That is from Mass Effect. Because I was at the
brought silverware.
I mean, I also brought the plastic ones if you prefer, but whatever. Because I was at the store today and saw Sonic the Hedgehog cereal. Sonic 2, only in theaters.
I'm very worried because whereas I find things that are kind of evil and stupid and entertaining for you, Boner's one of them thinky people.
I was wondering about the milk. It's basically, they look kind of like Cheerios plus little Star and Chaos Emerald marshmallows.
So Stream, I know digitally you can't really send wet stuff through the internet. So here you guys can have the first taste. There you go. Oh, Jesus. Don't be so grabby. Jeez. There you go. Open wide. Ah, here comes the Sonic plane. There you go.
That was Mario, you heathen!
I know.
Race for the rings! Find 100 rings within a minute or less. Supersonic. I don't think I can count to 100 in a minute or less, much less count up 100 rings on the back of the box.
Oh my God. Almost all of my students can count to 100 in a minute or less. Thank you, Boner. So, chat, what does everyone think about
I was just like, yeah, sure, we'll have some cereal. You know, it's fine. It's
actually.
I'm trying to think. Like, you look at it first and you're like, oh, well, that's Cheerios, whatever. Those aren't exactly Cheerios. I'm not sure.
They're not. They're like thicker oat rings. Here, do you mind putting the cereal in frame? You put it right there. It'll stand.
Good right here. I mean, it's not bad. It's got almost like a little, like, honey-ish taste on the, like, not quite like as strong as honeycomb per se, but like the rings feel a little bit like that.
I'm getting graham cracker.
Mm-hmm. It's Sonic rings, duh. Of fucking course! That's what the O's are. Are they supposed to be the rings? Why didn't I make the connection? I'm an idiot. I didn't sign up for ASMR. Well, you got it anyway.
Another one of the many things that we do on Twitch that can be bookended with, what can I say except you're welcome?
And the marshmallows are, you know, sugary cereal marshmallows. So, yeah. It's fine. I enjoy it. I'm glad I picked it up, and not just for the gag on stream. I'm going to see how many I can count. Dave, can you set up a timer for me? I'm going to see if I can count 100 while you start to do the next topic.
Let me grab my stopwatch.
I'll set it up. You do the next topic, and once I do 100, I'll let you know what my time was.
So, Ubisoft recently announced that after their failed NFT Quartz program and so many other things in association with the Ghost Recon Breakpoint IP, they have announced that they are no longer going to be creating events and content, skins, guns, crossovers to other IPs under the Tom Clancy umbrella and things like that.
I only got to 95.
And
did I miss
they just announced that the servers are still going to be up, things like that, and they appreciated everyone's participation in the game, but it's just another sign of, man, this is kind of another reason why I don't, if I'm going to play a shooter, I'm going to play a Call of Duty game. Because they have infinitely better signaling, like, you definitively know when they announced. So what you're saying is the scam worked as intended. Yeah.
Damn it. Okay. A minute 10. I found them all, but I lost count somewhere along the way. And it's none of them are hidden. There's just a line of rings. A minute 11. So that ranks me 1 to 3 minutes. Too easy. Screw you, Sonic.
Alex says, I am sleep deprived. What's your excuse? Rings. Now one of you has to get hurt when you throw a handful of cereal. I mean,
What you're saying, the scam works as intended. Yeah, it kind of did. Play offline shooters. I mean, yeah, if you're playing single player, but it's interesting in that it's a redux of when a lot of stuff went away from single player and just went to like, hey, Xbox Live is a thing, PlayStation Network is a thing. Everyone wants to do online gaming. Nobody cares about local, whatever. And now it's the same thing, but with more of a monetary push behind it. Whether it's NFTs and bullshit like that, or just regular microtransactions that are behind the push of, like the way Warzone is with paying for your season passes, paying for your cosmetics, etc.
I'll finish this after the program.
Yep.
It just Tom Clancy's is a fun franchise, but I just haven't had a Tom Clancy game come out that I think to myself, I have to get in on that. Like, I used to have so much fun with those games, more specifically the Ghost Recon franchise, but I'm really, really, really hoping they don't biff it with the Splinter Cell stuff coming out.
Again, the only Tom Clancy one that I played was Hawks, because I like flight sims. I don't much care for modern military shooters, and that's my personal preference. So like, I don't do Call of Duty, Battlefield, Tom Clancy. So that's my personal preference. So it didn't really show much to me. Splinter Cell, though, I am kind of looking forward to. Let's hope. Fingers crossed.
Speaking of fingers crossed, speaking of hoping about things and wishing that the news would just go away and people would stop talking about him.
Oh, was that this now?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Bobo.
Bobo. Speaking of our good friends at Activision, just put this back here. It keeps getting in the way. Get your popcorn, or if you have it, your handy cereal, because we've got a little bit more news on our good friends at Activision Blizzard. Hey, Bobby.
What else can I help you with?
You could show a little bit more effort in trying to actually make sure that your studio is as diverse as you claim that you want it to be. And so on that note, I'll start here because I know you did a bit more research into it. I'll start. I guess they have appointed a new Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, Kristen Hines.
Not to pick nits, equality.
Where I saw it said equity, so I will.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Let's.
We'll double check that. But the role is not just going to be in hiring practices and being like, all right, let's have a diverse workforce, but also having a voice in the games themselves. Don't just have your generic white dude protagonist kind of thing. Like, have diverse characters, diverse storylines, etc. Now, this isn't a role with veto power where like they single-handedly can change the game that the studio is making, but they have a strong advisory role.
You know what? I'll just go to the Blizzard site. Oh my god, I haven't been here in so long.
Did we already talk about the sad news of today? Did you hear, Dave?
This kind of tags on to the whole idea of I'm not necessarily all that attached to too many celebrities.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yes, but not
while
not to downplay their.
While you're looking that up, Gilbert Godfrey did pass away today. I considered having the opening joke be on that topic, and then I was like, he'd be fine with people joking about it, but my joke was uninspired and such. So instead, if you want a fitting tribute to the genius that was Gilbert Godfrey, look up a roughly 5-minute clip of the "You Fool" sequence on Hollywood Squares. Someone posted that today, and I was trying so hard not to laugh while I was in the showroom at work while watching it. It was great. Just headphones on, and I'm like, fantastic stuff. We lost another good one.
By the way, it is equity.
Okay.
I do not know why. And like, it's the reason I got
If
confused.
you're not expecting the word equity, it's really easy for your brain to just substitute equality in there.
No, because
instead.
I went to a bunch of the news sites that I use, and every other one says equality or equity. Like, they flipped it back and forth, and it's one of those things of like, damn it, copy. Like, could you just look at that? Like,
So did you have more to add on that? Like, I wish her luck. Like I'm remembering that just last year, after the head of Activision Blizzard left, they brought 2 people on, Mike Ibarra and Jen O'Neill, and were like, "You guys are co-leaders of Blizzard." And then a couple months later, O'Neill was like, "There is absolutely no way in hell that I can do anything here. I'm treated second tier, etc., etc., etc. I'm out of yo." So, like, I hope that she has much better luck in actually trying to affect any sort of meaningful change at Activision Blizzard. And from what you found,
so Kristen Hines is the new chief of diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is interesting because this is a really broad position. They're going to be hiring for workplace initiatives, um, making sure making sure to reflect diversity in gaming and things like that. And then they're also going to be working on the corporate level on so many other things. This is a job that this person literally can and probably should just peek into everybody's office and just go, "What are you doing?" Like, so this is a position that needs to be filled by somebody that has a lot of experience. Well, unfortunately, the internet is a very open place, and I found myself with a little bit of extra time, and I found out that you can find out a lot about corporate folks. Like a lot about corporate folks. Like a lot about corporate folks, even though their LinkedIn profile is private, people share all the information on their LinkedIn. So anyway,
cool. Really quick side note, apparently that cereal turns your milk this interesting bluish green color. Continue.
So, before moving over to Activision Blizzard in this new position, they, from 2006 to 2022, worked for Accenture.
Okay.
We have not talked about Accenture on this network on this program by name, but we have talked about companies that Accenture represents.
Okay.
They are a professional services in IT and consulting. They represent 91 of the global Fortune 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then about 34% of the global Fortune 500 companies.
Okay.
So they represent the top echelon of global businesses and things like that. And they were in charge of global inclusion, diversity, equality, and a bunch of other buzzwords that lead back to they were doing this exact position that they're doing in Activision Blizzard on a global consulting firm. That damn,
That's big.
yeah,
Wow.
like so this
and
was
for a long time too. 06 to 22. Like that's not. Oh yeah, they were there for a couple years and probably didn't do anything.
yeah, this wasn't a resume piece sit-in. This
Yeah.
was they were heading up many different boards and many different things and working on this. And I have a feeling that if they hired this person, they are paying this person quite a bit of money because they needed somebody to literally be able to now not only seal up the cracks, but throw away the walls that have the holes in them.
Yeah.
And this is a person that's going to be able to do those sort of things because of what their position is, where they are on the ladder,
Yeah,
and
and
all
like
the things
a
going
lot
on.
of this stuff is always like, oh, well, they're supposed to do this, but they're not going to be able to actually do anything because of the company's structure. And they can
Yes.
recommend things, but it's not going to whatever. I'm pretty sure that she's got the wherewithal, whether she formally has the ability or not, to just go like, fucking no. Here's how we're gonna do it. Otherwise, law enforcement is gonna be on your ass, and I wipe my hands clean of it.
So I'm excited about this for a couple reasons. This is a person that has a lot of experience in corporate work and has a lot of experience being in a boys' club, but being able to find success and in that culture and things like that, and busting those cultures. The other thing I'm kind of excited about was this is still in line with Activision Blizzard's plan they released to
True.
fix these issues.
Yeah.
This is Activision Blizzard living up to those memorandums and those different
I'm
pressures
sure.
that they put
I'm
out.
sure she doesn't come cheap. So this is definitely like literally putting the money where their mouth is, as well as figuratively being like, look, there is actual action we are taking.
I'm very excited about this, but did you hear the other Activision Blizzard news that happened?
Dave, we're already over time, but if you insist, go ahead.
I have to just because this goes along with a lot of things we've talked about. Activision Blizzard News gets a corporate you did good on the regards to this because Activision Blizzard, as of a couple days ago, converted all US-based game testers on temporary contracts to full-time employment. Did you catch what I said there?
The air quotes?
Yes, because you'll remember that we have some friends at A Better ABK that are attempting to unionize. Those employees were not converted over to full-time employees, but it is because, and I quote from Activision Blizzard, they're prohibited from making new kinds of compensation and changes at Ravensoft due to legal obligations under National Labor Relations Acts. So, this is definitely an attempt on Activision Blizzard to better the Activision Blizzard employees, but at the same point using fair governance and legal action to punish
And following the letter of the law and not the spirit of the law in an anti-union fashion.
Bango. This being another attempt to, trust bust, as they have done in the past.
Union bust, you mean?
So I feel for the Ravensoft employees that had applied for and done these things, and my hope is that they were able to announce within corporate, hey, we're doing this now. And because they can do that, they can flex it out, they can have their employees, they can make memos, they can print these things out. With Ravensoft, I do hope that they go to the table with a comparable offer of these things to those employees for the unionized employees to discuss with their employer. Fair play, Activision Blizzard. Fair play. It is. It's not them. It really is them corporately doing what they are able to do and legally able to do and being very apparent about it. It wasn't a secretive thing where they contacted teams and were like, oh, you get this and you get that. They said, nope, all of our employees who are currently under contract, except for the ones that we have to do special negotiations with, we'll talk to them at a later date.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not good.
Fair, yeah, it could be better, but admittedly, if it's like, oh, there's like legal wranglings over your contract right now, we can't just go, like, they could make an offer part of their current negotiations, but if they've done so, they have not made that public because there are probably going to be other writers and conditions and such attached.
Yes, they do have to. They have to make sure that everything is above board and now in line with. And here's the kicker: it has to be in line with national union standards that the Ravensoft employees are now a part of.
Yep.
So, Activision Blizzard, I see what you're doing there. Fantastic job on the new hire with the new position. Much success and much love and positivity to you, Kristen Hines. Hope you are able to make the change and be the change. But, Boner, what's going on in the Citadel?
On the Citadel, I am getting my money's worth out of Elex. We're going to keep playing that this month. Last time we actually upgraded our weapon from a rusty-ass pipe to a big old wrench. We still can't use swords and whatever because it's, but whatever. We're working on Elex and we'll see how it goes. This game has until the end of April to hold on to me. If it does, then after St. Jude Play Live, it will be in my regular rotation on the Citadel. If it doesn't, I'm dropping it like a bad habit. So we'll see. Elex on the Citadel tonight. We end this stream 5 minutes offline as we move everything over. 10-minute countdown, and then I'll see you on the show.
Myself and Love Alec were really enjoying last week all of the struggles the game gave you. Love Alec, lol, this game is a nightmare. Exactly. So make sure to tune in. I know I will be. Swords are against future past rules.
Yeah, I don't even know where I left off. I just know I was wandering around. I found some other camp that was helping me fight things, and then I accidentally hit one of them, and they started fighting me, so I let myself die so I could reload before I hit them, and it was a thing.
Yeah, I only heard, quote, good things about the game. Thank you so much for the lurk, Griff Kuba. We are actually heading out for the night, but make sure to keep that lurk here on Insane Games TV as we head over to the Citadel.
I hope to see you guys there where you can hear me rage some more. But in the meantime, I've been Boater.
I've been Dave Mann.
We'll see you next week right here on the Nerd Glasses podcast. Bye, everybody.